every morning when I greet the sun, when I move forth through crowded ways. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee.
When I laugh all and when I cry with Thee, when my best friends misunderstand, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. Dear God, my God, I am Thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am Thine eternally.
My pathway over desert sand, though it take me through bitter storms. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee.
When I'm working and when in earth repose, there come victory or no defeat. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. Dear God, my God, I am Thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am Thine eternally. God, my God, I am Thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am Thine eternally.
I'd like to welcome you all here today for our Sunday service. My name is Maria, and this is my husband, Ananta. And it's our joy to be with you here today, those of you who are here physically, and those of you who are watching from far away. I'd like to read from Rays of the One Light, and these are readings and commentaries based on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita, Yogananda's teachings, and written by Nayaswami Kriyananda. And this week's reading is How Devotees Rise. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. Last week we asked the question, why do devotees fall? And we considered the downfall of Judas in this context. Jesus, in answer to Judas's criticism for allowing Mary to rub his feet with spikenard, a very costly ointment, said, "The poor always ye have with you, but me ye have not always." Jesus is saying here that there is one supreme injustice that needs eradication. Poverty, yes, but not of a material kind. Poverty in a spiritual sense. Divine blessings are not common in this world. They are extraordinary. When they come, we should give them priority above every other consideration. Never allow a moment of inner joy, for instance, to be set aside for lesser duties. Divine attunement is our highest priority. As Lahiri Mahashaya, the guru of Yogananda's guru, said, to listen to the heart's inner sound, Om, which issues from the very center of our being, is man's highest duty. Mary, on this occasion, was not communing in inner silence with Christ's Spirit, as she had been when Martha urged that she be reproached by Jesus for not helping out in the kitchen. Mary this time was serving outwardly, but in a very different spirit from the restless fussing for which Jesus had reprimanded her sister, Martha. Those who see a radical difference between the paths of action and meditation should understand this distinction. To serve in the right spirit is necessary, for only thereby can we overcome our karmic tendencies toward restless activity. The important thing is that the spirit be always inwardly focused, that in everything we do, we act in loving service to the Lord. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita says in the 3rd chapter, the state of freedom from action, that is, of eternal rest in the spirit, cannot be achieved without action. No one, by mere renunciation and outward non-involvement, can attain perfection. Whenever the Spirit of God descends upon you, however, remember the words of Jesus, "Me ye have not always with you." Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
This is a reading from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahansa Yogananda. Make me thy butterfly of eternity. I have burnt my past, destroying every seed of evil destiny. I have stridden bravely through the strewn ashes of my past and future fears. I am the eternal now, having torn to shreds my enclosing cocoon of ignorance with the sharp knife of free will. Now I am thy soaring butterfly of eternity, flitting freely through immeasurable skies of time. The beauty of my wings I spread out through nature everywhere to entertain all beings. My wings are sprinkled with suns and stardust. Lo, I am beautiful. May every silken thread that shrouded my past folly be severed forever. See, they trail now behind me, only adding to my beauty as I wing my way to my own self in thee. So good morning, and we want to talk about how we rise. And I want to tell you a story about, right here, about 35 years ago or so. Netri and Jivita used to have a hot air balloon company that was sort of retired, but Netri still had her hot air balloon. We didn't have a building here. And Netri would bring over her big trailer with the big wicker basket and the big nylon hot air balloon, and Jivita would unfold it very properly so that it was just in the right place, and would turn on the hot air from the propane tank, and you'd hear shh, shh, and bit by bit, and you could hear it all the way. We lived over in Almora in a teepee, and I could hear shh, shh. Jivita and Netri are going to soar in God. And so the heat would build up, and bit by bit, the colored balloon would start to expand. And we'd get bigger and bigger. And soon enough, There'd be a hot air balloon rising from this meadow that we're now sitting in. And the hot air, as all you physics majors know, has greater distance between the molecules, and therefore it is lighter than air, and so it rises, which is why we're talking about this. So up we go in the hot air balloon, and we go up with the heat expanding the balloon, and the only thing that holds us is the little sandbags and the tethering rope. And that's all that holds us down. So how do we rise? We expand. We let go of the little stuff, and we be the big stuff. You are the big stuff. You are the thoughts of all men, past, present, and to come. Then you're not held down by this little sandbag, this little worry. Luckily, in our lives, the sandbags are labeled. They're usually labeled I, me, and mine. Tethering rope is tied right to your ego. And if you want to get rid of all this stuff and rise, you just start to let those go. You let go of the sand. You let go of those little bags. But we tether ourselves to this little ego, which is very dense and small. And if we stay down there, it seems very, very real. It seems very, very solid and dense and hard, and life is very hard. And there's just no way out of your problems. They're huge. They're just giant. But have you ever been in a hot air balloon or an airplane or Google Earth? And you go up there and you look down at Nevada County. It's a little teeny. When you go to Google Earth, you go to the planet Earth, and then you type in Cherokee, California, and the little zoom starts to zoom over to North America, and then it starts to go to California. Then it goes to Northern California, and pretty soon, Ananta Farm and Ananta Village appears. I could see the squash rows on Google Earth. This is really cool. This is really, really cool. Well, the fact is that we rise when we expand the balloon of our consciousness to include the greater self. And that's why Master's teachings on expansion, on the reality of the soul, allow us to rise because we belong up there. We don't belong down here. This is not the real world. The real world is the great self. The soul cannot be burned by fire, cannot be drowned by water, cannot be bankrupt, foreclosed upon, merged without consent of the board of directors, sued by some lawyer in Sacramento, or otherwise attacked in any way, because the soul is perfect. You are perfect. And so the reality of our rising comes simply from our expansion. And the reality of our expansion comes from the nature of the self. We are not small and limited. You are not the body. You are not the occupation. You're not male or female. You're not 220 pounds. You're not this and that disease. You're not this and that phobia, fear, therapeutic problem. You're none of that. You're so much vaster than that. But we have to remember that. And that is the practice of sadhana. One of the definitions of yoga is memory. Just remembering who you are. And we rise when we remember. We rise when we expand. We fall when we contract. And so what we've got to do is get used to being bigger. Get used to being higher. Get used to being more expansive. And the way we do that, as Master teaches us over and over, and as this reading on Mary, was hold on to those blessings that penetrate the fog of duality. And when you see them, grab them. Go to Sunday service, chant the names of God, sing, serve the Guru, change your attitude, let go of the smallness as whenever you can. And when you find and feel the smallness, You cut the sandbags. You let go of the sandbags. The sandbags are the attachment we have to our situation, to our problems. They're little from the point of view of Google Earth, but they're big in terms of our world. And the problem with this duality, this Maya, is it's very well designed. It's very, very tricky. And you start out and you think, no, I'm going to be free, I'm going to be free. And then you start to think about your problems, and you even worry about your introspection, your journal, and you write down all the bad things that you did that week instead of write down all the good things that happened that week. We have to change the focus of our daily lives to support our rising. We can't be entranced by this little stuff. The world is entranced by the little stuff. It tells you over and over, you need to get a loan. You're going to go bankrupt. It defines us by our race or our country of origin or our grandfather's country of origin or something that happened a long time ago on an island far away. And you are not the body. You are not the ego. You're not tethered. You're free to fly. And we need to remind ourselves. And how do we do that? Well, the formal practice of spiritual hot air balloon riding is called meditation. And meditation can be defined as concentration on some aspect of the infinite. You are infinite. You need to concentrate on the infinite. You need to take some formal time in meditation where you shut off the sense telephones. You put the body at rest so it's not moving. You relax. What do you do when you relax? You stretch the muscles. You allow them to expand. So you relax. You let go. And then you're bigger. And you're calm. You let go of the tension. You let go of your worries. That's why we take off our shoes. You ever wonder why they take off their shoes? We take off our shoes because the world is touching the shoes. You leave the shoes at the door of the temple. You go into the temple without your contact to the world. Contact spirit for 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. Go out, get your shoes, reattach to the world, the dust, the fight. But in formal meditation, concentrate on some aspect of the infinite. Where is the infinite? Well, even within your own body, the bottom chakra is earth, rock, solid, dense, small, tightly crystalline packed molecules. Second chakra, water, a little bit of movement, suspension, liquid. We're moving in the right direction. Third chakra, fire, rapid oxidization of matter, a change, willpower. Come up to the heart, air. Come up to the throat, ether. Come up to the point between the eyebrows, spirit. We have to rise within the self to the spirit and live from the spiritual eye. You can't ride in a hot air balloon when it's on the ground. Jivita had a lot of work to do, picking up the wicker basket and putting it in a trailer. It was very heavy. Big tank of propane. That's very, very heavy stuff. That's what you have to do when you start sadhana. You have to get your balloon and get it set up, and then you have to breathe. Hong Sa. I am spirit. Breathe. Focus on some aspect of the infinite within you. 8 aspects of God. You are 8 aspects of God. Love, wisdom, peace, joy, spirit. You are spirit. You are light. We have to concentrate on that. In formal meditation, we practice that. We practice meditation. We hold that. And then we come back into the world, but you stay in your hot air balloon. You stay up high. And you look at the world from the top. And you see, gosh, you have a lot of work to do. Gosh, you need to do this. You need to learn this. You need to go to school. You need to perfect your craft. You need to figure out a business plan. Yes. Do we have to do all that stuff? Yes. Maria just read. We have to do all that stuff to free ourselves from the karma. But we have to see it from here. Master went through the world seeing everything from here. He was leaving a meditation one day. He said, silver light, golden light, you're all just so beautiful. That's what he saw. We have to see each other in that way. We have to see our situation, our co-workers. When you're at work, expand your view of what you're doing. You're just a worker in the vast bee colony of planet Earth, going along, doing your little part, doing it well, just as when Master was there, Swami, you write the lessons, you do this, you fix this, you do this. Peggy Dietz, you be my chauffeur. Everybody play a part. Okay, go. Do we do it with consciousness of spirit? That is what we want to do. So formal meditation supports your daily life, but keep your consciousness up there as much as you can and construct in your world a way where God is working with you, that you work for God, God works with you, God is helping you plant, God is helping you weed, God is helping you enter your data, fix your computer, do whatever it is, but feel that spirit with you. Expand your consciousness that you're going throughout the world. We have two friends in Ananda Assisi, Helmut and Maya Devi, and they were visiting recently. And I said to Helmut, Helmut, I feel I go to work with you every day. And he got it. But I haven't seen him in probably 10 years. But he's a close friend in God. He used to live here. We used to work together on Crystal Hermitage. But now he works in Assisi, which is over the next hill. It's a little bit over there. But what does he do? He serves the Guru. He plants the plants. He takes care of the garden. We go to work every day. I go to work with my friends in India. I go to work with my friends in Africa. We all just go to work. We serve the Guru. Get that consciousness into your life so that you feel that sense that Maya is nonsense. This is not the way it is. The reality is the veils of light and shade are gone. What's left? The vast ocean of blood of my own one being. That you are in all hearts, in all minds, in all souls. That wonderful quote in Samadhi. Past, present, future, no more for me. But ever present, all flowing, I, everywhere. You're everywhere. Why be in one little place with a little sandbag holding down the... That's no way to live. Let go of that tether. Fly, float. Go through the world in that spirit with the masters. This can be done. I was working the other day and I saw, we were working on this house and I looked over and I saw Ray Noble going up to fix his thing and I looked and I thought, it's Sri Teshwar. Sri Teshwar is going to fix the gutter on Krishnadas's house. How wonderful is Sri Teshwar. We need that gutter fix. It's going to rain in 6 months. Look around for the masters. See them. You find them. They're with us. They're working with you every day. They're going to go to work with you. Tomorrow, this afternoon, did everyone see the clouds yesterday? Floating by, beautiful clouds. Well, you didn't see them if you were looking down. You still got to look up. You got to look up if you want to rise. That's where you're going. Don't look down, look up. Feel that breeze, feel that wind. That's Divine Mother. She's blowing a breeze, she's cooling you. She's embracing you in the warmth. Feel that, live in that consciousness. Master said, read the poem every day, Samadhi, but he also said, visualize yourself in that state every day. That's what we're trying to do. Don't just repeat the poem. Poem is beautiful. But the poem is a description of who you are and where you are and what you're doing and why you're here. So memorize the poem or read the poem, but visualize yourself with the veils of light and shade gone and just the light, just that one tranquil, unbroken thrill, eternally living, ever new peace. Repeat that over and over at work, at lunchtime, so that you go back to work. We were working the other day and non-disciples were working across the road from the farm. We were trying to be very Satwik and Guns N' Roses was blasting at us and we just, no, this is not the reality. The reality is Om, Om, everywhere. Omnipresent, I am Om. All pervading, I am Om. You are all pervading. You are omnipresent. Keep that consciousness. Nurture it bit by bit. Every once in a while as we were building Ananda, Swami would interject the big reality. We'd be talking about the little community and cooperative communities and maybe starting a center and sharing the teachers, and Swami would go cosmic on us and talk about, well, these souls come from vast galaxies far off in the universe, and we'd be sitting there going, us? We came from far off galaxies? He said, yes, yes, yes. And he'd remind us over and over, omnipresent, I am Om. All pervading, I am Om. Feel it. Take that point between the eyebrows and that feeling. That's why you do that chant. Rise, O my soul, in freedom, nothing to fear anymore. Because if you buy in to the small reality, it seems very real. Wake yourself up regularly. Chant, meditate, practice. Feel yourself to be beyond. Feel yourself in all bodies. I still can't get my mind behind thoughts of all men, past, present, and to come. I have no idea what that's like, but I'm working on it. It's big. It's real big. And the masters are real big, and you are real big. Don't settle for the smallness, because the smallness will always leave you wanting. You cannot find fulfillment with all the money and all the houses and all the Lamborghinis and all the stuff. There's still a place in your heart that wants to soar and to be everywhere and beyond the physical world, beyond the astral world, beyond the causal world, everywhere. Spirit, pure spirit. There's a great quote from Patanjali. It's in his aphorisms, but it's in the book How to Know God. The soul does not love. It is love itself. Love isn't a verb. You are the soul. You are love. You are an incarnation of love. Keep yourself in that consciousness. Rise and stay there. And from that place, send blessings of light, like the little bird in the festival. You are a part of all that is. Remind yourself over and over and over. Ethnicity, body, gender, job, little stuff. Big stuff, you are a part of all that is. Rise and stay there. God bless you.
Summer fade and winter dawning, my Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempests, through snows, through turbulent time, the touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will